good Sunday to you. Welcome to another episode of JD's Deep Cut Sunday Tracks. Again, where we're going to be discussing and displaying a little bit of the older records, older bands, obscure, not so in the limelight, not so known, some known. The songs in particular, not so known, might have been a hit, but they kind of got lost in the wayside. Missed you all last weekend. Unfortunate events that I had no control over. But we're back. We're back again. Hope you watched and caught up on some of the videos. Again, like and subscribe to the channel. If you get a chance, I really appreciate it. Thank you for your likes and subscribes. Okay, JD's Deep Cut Sunday Tracks. Doing a little twist, a little different theme going here, thing going with the channel. You know, don't expect your big hits, your number one hits, your big bands, your number one bands. You know, we're taking a little bit of a different road, different approach here with the, you know, the long lost, forgotten, the obscure, the B-sides, stuff like that. Okay, some of you might have recognized the album here, maybe not. Again, I'm still on the psychedelic phase, psychedelic rock, late 60s, early 70s, okay? Progenitors of the psychedelic rock movement. You know, a little bit of history on the psychedelic rock. Was born in or around 66, 67, around there. Kind of blew up in 68, you know, Summer of Love being 67. Psychedelic rock kind of took a little turn there with the visuals of the records, the songs, you know, a lot of obscure keyboards, distorted vocals there, long songs, 6-7 minute long songs, a trip, mind you. Okay, you know, some of the big bands started doing it. You know, Stones did a little bit, Beatles, of course, but then you had all these up and coming bands out of California, mostly East Coast, some bands as well. Pacific Northwest had some as well. Okay, 1970 hit. It kind of started dwelling a little bit, you know, kind of going down a little bit. You know, maybe you still got something in there in 72, 73. But again, psychedelic rock, you know, has always existed. But that's the peak. I'm assuming, I'm saying. Okay, of the movement. But there's so many bands out there that, you know, that never made it big, had only one album. But then you had the bands that, you know, were progenitors. Okay, we're going to be talking about Jefferson Airplane today. Not one of their bigger albums. You know, everybody knows them for Volunteers, Surrealistic Pillow. We'll be showcasing today After Bathing at Baxter's. Okay. This is a very unique album. You know, check out the label, the RCA Victor. This is a first pressing. Okay, this is a sought after album. It's a great record in my opinion. And IMO, like they say. Okay, again, not one of their bigger albums. Not your Volunteers, not your Surrealistic Pillow. You know, White Rabbit there, Volunteers of America. No, none of that. Okay. After Bathing at Baxter's. This was definitely a psychedelic album, experimental, if you will, as well. Takes a couple of listens, but being Jefferson Airplane, it's a great album in San Francisco. Okay, you know, Grace Slick was doing her thing. Paul Cantor doing some songs, vocals there. Of course, Marty Balin, may he rest in peace. Okay, but Martha. Okay, we're gonna showcase Martha, the song Martha. Okay, very unique song. A lot of percussion there, a lot of bongos, the distorted vocals again, kind of mid-tempo song. You know, not a hit. There were no hits off this album. Okay, I believe they attempted to release singles, but again, the music was just so psychedelic. They kind of gave up. The label, of course, you know, bosses kind of gave up, you know, not in the sense of giving up, but they didn't have high expectations, high hopes, you know, because again, being an experimental album, Paul was doing his thing with the guitar there, you know, Grace Slick doing distorting the vocals there. But it's definitely a great psychedelic experimental rock record. You know, Young Girl Sunday Blues is another good one. Okay, this is in mint condition, I would say. Okay. Check out the center label there, RCA Victor. I love showing these things because you don't get this stuff anymore. Okay, this is a thick record, a very thick album. Original 1967, I believe it was released. Okay. But it's great. It's great to have. Okay. I believe this was their third album. Okay. Thing there. Great cover there too. Okay. You got the plane going. Trip. Taking you on a trip. Metaphor there, of course. Right. Bathing at Baxter's. Again, that was a coined term in San Francisco. The trip, I'm sure you know what type of trip, not your trip from point A to point B, of course, maybe in the mind. Okay. But this album, highlights a lot of experimentation, a lot of instruments, different instruments used. And again, Jefferson Airplane was a 6-piece band. Okay. You had great musicians there, and within the band, Paul being, the leader, Marty, again, may he rest in peace. He was on the forefront, one of the founders. The lead guitarist there was, of course, Paul was doing some leads. Karkinen, lead guitar, Jack Cassidy, of course, the bass. Okay, Spencer on drums, great drummer there. But sometimes you just gotta listen to the album, to get a better view, better perspective. Yeah, it's interesting how every litter but hurts. We're already talking about the litter and stuff going on. But yeah, the picture on this album has a lot of little inside messages there, and it's really good. Okay. But check it out yourself. I mean, you gotta take a good listen. My two songs are Martha and Young Girl Sunday Blues. That's a good song. Again, you got 6-7 minute songs here. Okay. Going. Okay. But yeah, Jefferson Airplane, we all know, was a progenitor of the psychedelic movement. But again, this album never gets the love because it wasn't a hits album. It wasn't your White Rabbit going there. It was just a very different experimental. And I'm glad they did it because labels, of course, probably was not agreeing with it, but to a connoisseur, to a fan of music, it's a gem. It's a gem. I'll put the link to the song there so you can check it out. And make an opinion for yourself. Okay. But again, yeah, Jefferson Airplane, After Bathing at Baxter's. It's a good one. Moving on with the theme. I might be doing 2 or 3 more. Might change it up a little bit. But I hope you're liking the channel and the different points of views, perspectives, opinions that I have on these bands, on this genre of music. Okay. All right. So again, check out some of the videos. I'm coming up on 50 plus now, maybe hitting 60. Okay. Hope you like it. Thank you for liking and subscribing. So I'll see you on the next one. All right. Keep checking out the vinyl, listening to the vinyl.